Hello, my name is Lex and I'm the Apprenticeship Delivery Manager here at Lavenders. So this recording will hopefully assist your apprentice to be able to successfully log their off-the-job training. So you should be able to see my screen, and what you can see so far are all the different tabs which will have an overview, possibly functional skills maths and functional skills English. You'll have a gateway tab and you'll have a non-destructive testing engineering tab, and this will show you whether they're doing the operator or the technician. To log off the job training, there is one way in which your apprentice will do this. By logging or clicking onto the non-destructive testing tab, you will be presented with 8 different colour tiles, and your apprentice then wants to select the learning plan, which is in the top right hand corner in blue. When you click on that, it will then bring you up all of the visits which your apprentice has planned or has historically achieved in the past. Now this is a dummy account, hence why there are so many visits on here. It's used internally, but your apprentice should have a minimum of 1 visit per month. That may increase if they're doing functional skills. So let's pretend that I'm seeing this particular learner on today's visit, and I will talk through with you what it is that your tutor will be doing with your learner and how that links into the off-the-job training. So first of all, you will have a look for the date that your apprentice is having their visit. For information on this, you can hover over the calendar and it will tell you the location. It will tell you the start and the end time. So this is from 1 p.m. till 4 p.m. It will tell you who this is with. But to understand what your apprentice will be achieving during the visit, you can click on this arrow here and it will expand the visit open for you. As you can see, we have items displayed in red and we have items displayed in blue. So the teaching element, which is what my tutor will do with your apprentice, will say teaching and learning. Again, if you hover over, it will tell you what teaching and learning your apprentice will be having by my tutor on today's date. Once this has been completed, the tutor will complete the admin side of Smart Assessor. So you do not need to know this, but I will show you, because at the moment you can see that we've got like a traffic light system. It's called a status. And this is currently in red. Once that teach has been completed, your tutor will complete their admin. So like I said, your apprentice doesn't need to know this, but this is what your tutor will do. And they will convert how many hours it was to minutes. And as you can see, that has now gone green. What that will mean is for that 3-hour teaching session which your apprentice had, the off-the-job hours will increase. So for every bit of teach that your tutor delivers, it is counted towards off-the-job. Your apprentice does not need to count the teaching element towards their off-the-job. We will do that for them. Down the bottom, you will notice there are 2 further red items, and these are both called activities. And activities are work that we will set the apprentice to achieve in between the 2 visits. So today's date is the 25th of October. So if I don't come out now, we'll just round it up for a month until the 25th of November. That's when my target date will be. You will notice there are 2 activities. One is off the job and one is portfolio of evidence. There may be several activities ongoing throughout the duration of the apprenticeship, and these can vary from each month. An activity is where we want the learner to showcase their evidence. So rather than the learner just doing, they must do and attach what evidence it is that we've asked them to upload. So for example, here we want product evidence on how they have read their technical drawings, followed by procedures and written practices to assist in the inspection process. So we need to see evidence that the apprentice has achieved that. So they will simply click on the evidence button and that will take them to the upload area. Once that has been checked by the tutor and accepted, it will change from red to green. This will not count towards off the job because an activity is something which your learner has done and they are competent at doing. Here we've also got an off the job summary sheet. So this is where your learner will document their off the job hours. So the question maybe for some of you is, what is off the job? Off the job training is anything which your apprentice has learned new whilst being paid within their job role. They cannot document anything down that they used before their start date with Lavender. So they may have joined your company in March, but they didn't start their apprenticeship until the 1st of September. So anything that they learnt from March until the 31st of August, they cannot use as off the job. They could only use anything new from the 1st of September. It must be directly linked into the apprenticeship. The apprenticeship have got knowledge, skills and behaviours attached to them. If you are unsure what the knowledge, skills and behaviours are, please do speak to your tutor and they will be able to assist you with this. So, off the job could be anything such as shadowing a supervisor within their workplace and they have learned something new on magnetic testing or one of their other methods. If that is the case, they will then document down on this Word document. So if I click on this, which is what your apprentice will do, and on this document, which is embedded into the system, it will already pre-populate the name for them. They will write down what month it is that they are documenting this down for. So if you remember, this visit was the 24th of October, and I probably won't see this learner until end of November. So there may be an element of October and November in here because she will document anything new that she has learned from this visit, which is the 25th of October. So it may say October and November, and your apprentice can write that into the box. They will then start to document down date from. So if I visit today, but I learned something new on Monday, I can just quite simply select the date from the calendar. And then I will document down how many hours I learned something new for. Did I learn this in work time? Yes. So for off the job to be counted, they must be at work during their normal working hours. I will then write down what I did, what did I learn, and what impact it has on me within my apprenticeship. I could then go to the following week, and then we'll go into November, and let's say I've learned something new on the 5th of November. I'm sure you understand. But yeah, we'll follow that same process. So this week I might have learned 8 hours worth of new practices. And again, I will complete the 3 boxes and I will continue to do that. Every time your apprentice completes this box, we do ask that they scroll down to the bottom and they press save. And there you go, it can tell you that the form has been saved successfully. They can then click return once they've pressed save, and it will take them back to their visit. So your off-the-job summary document will be completed ongoing. Actions are highlighted in blue. So actions are similar to activities in that we expect the apprentice to complete this in between visits. So it's additional homework. The difference between an action and an activity is we do not need to see evidence of this onto Smart Assessor. So normally you can see here it says the word evidence. That's because it's expecting you to upload the evidence or complete this file as evidence. But it doesn't say it here. So what we do expect your apprentice to go and do is complete their actions. And again, they've got a target date of when I would next see this apprentice. And just like the other three, if you hover over, it will tell you what we're expecting them to do as homework. However, your tutor will ask the apprentice, have they done it? And what did they learn from this? This information they would then document onto the off-the-job monthly summary form. So not only are they going to document things that they have learned that is probably on an ad hoc basis, or it could be support where their manager or supervisor has given them additional learning in between visits that isn't planned on Smart Assessor. But they will also document down from their actions what they achieved and what they learned from doing that action. So again, the same process, they will click onto their off-the-job summary form, and if they've done their theory revision on the online module, they will say what they did, what they learned, and the impact it has on their apprenticeship. The only thing from the actions which they cannot document onto the off-the-job summary form are logging the 60 hours supervised work experience, because 60 hours supervised work experience is not something new which the learner is doing. So they cannot log anything to do with their 60 hours work experience onto the off-the-job summary. At next visit, if I were to come out and see this learner on the 25th of November, as a tutor, what I would be doing is having that conversation with the apprentice to ensure, have you done your 3 actions? Yes, you have. Where are your 60 hours logged? And also for these 2, if you've completed these 2 actions, I would expect it to be documented onto the off-the-job summary. If the portfolio of evidence is there, I would also open that up to make sure that I'm happy with it, and I would sign it off, and that would change green. What I would also then do as a tutor is click onto this. I would read all of the entries, and at the top here as a tutor, I would total the amount of hours that that learner had inserted for that time period. I've just put a random number of 46. And then what I would do is, as a tutor, I would then sign it off, and that will lock down that form. So the learner can now not add any more additional items to that form. Once that form has been completed, I will then document how many minutes that off the job has equated to. So as a tutor, I will go back into my visit. I know that I've locked this down because I've just completed it. And then as a tutor, I will then edit it again, and I will insert however many minutes that converted to. So let's say it was 2,400 minutes. I would press complete. It says off the job. So everything which your apprentice has documented onto that form will be counted as off the job, providing that your tutor is happy with the entries. And I will press submit. You will then notice that has now turned green. So for the month of November and that last week in October, your apprentice will have equated 180 minutes of teach and 2,400 minutes of everything else that they've done. And that could be within the actions, apart from the 60 hours work experience. And it could be anything else that that particular apprentice has done in between visits that isn't necessarily planned for. Now, up here, when you click back on the word portfolio, you've got the overview tab. On the overview tab, again, you will be presented with 8 different tiles. And here you can see we've got one and it's named off the job hours. You can see here that this particular learner is plus 222 hours. So hours actually completed is 421, but to date we've only expected 198.9. You will know from the start how many hours it is that your learner will need to achieve throughout the duration of their apprenticeship. And hopefully by me clicking on the items which I've just shown you and making those traffic light system, the status from red to green, that will support this figure, and it should increase each month that we see your learner. On average, we expect a learner to increase a minimum of 6 hours per week, but we do understand some weeks it may be 4 hours, but the following week it may be 10. So by the end of the month, it will still equate to a minimum of 6 hours per week. We did previously have an old way of documenting off-the-job training, and we do ask that all learners stop completing it this way. The old way of documenting it would have been to click onto this tile, and then it will ask you to add a new time log entry. And this is where you would usually, in the past, have documented your off-the-job training. But we only ask that all apprentices log their off the job the way that I've just shown you, which is through the visit on the off the job summary file. Any entries that learners put on here, they will be asked to be moved over to the new way of working, and it will be deleted because we have the delete function. We also do not require learners to complete it via the visit on the off-the-job summary form and on here. They do not need to do it twice. Some learners may notice that it says off the job, on the job, and some may say not applicable. The on the job is just a duplicate of off the job, so please, we do ask that no learner goes in to change this. Also not applicable will mean that where the learners used to document their off-the-job training, these hours have been added up all together and have been put on the new way of working, and then they've been changed to not applicable. So it doesn't mean that the hours are not applicable. They are. It's because we had to accumulate how many hours the learners have done as a whole, and we've had to make a bit of a cut-off, if you like. We've had to stop how many hours have been documented on here, but we transferred over all of those hours onto the off-the-job summary form. So the important thing for your apprentice to remember is that no hours have been lost, despite what it may say on the summary form. So just to quickly recap, they need to go onto portfolio, go onto the learning plan, go down to their last visit with their tutor, click the arrow to expand the visit. They will have a teach, which the tutor will deliver, and they will turn that green and they will add it to the off the job. They do not need to do anything else with it, so your apprentice will not need to document that anywhere. They will always have an action asking them to log their 60 hours work supervised experience. Again, that cannot be added as off the job. They may have one or several actions highlighted in blue. Once these are completed, any action highlighted in blue, apart from your 60 hours supervised experience, can be documented on off the job. So as soon as they've done their magnetic testing on the online module, put it onto off the job. As soon as they've learnt new things and done their project report, because there will be a lot of research involved in that, pop that on off the job, and anything else. Their portfolio of evidence will be where we expect the learner to upload the evidence, and that will, again, if you highlight over, that will always assist them and tell them what to upload. Your activities and your evidence will not be used as off the job. And finally, we know here is our off-the-job summary form, which your apprentice will complete ongoing, and just to remember for them to press save every time they've made an entry before they shut that document down. You will know once your tutor has checked that because it will change from red to green, and you'll also notice here the amount of hours that the hours have converted to in minutes. And once that is done, by clicking back on Portfolio, click on the Overview tab, and you'll start to see an increase in hours. We've also sent out a written guide, which is on a Word document, screenshotting this process. So we do ask that all employers forward that guide to our apprentices, and my tutors will also be going through that guide with the apprentices that we feel may need that extra support. If you do have any questions, please do reach out to me. Alternatively, please do contact your tutor when they are on site. Thank you.